In Afghanistan, government security forces are battling the Taliban for the third day in the city of Ghazni, a key point on the highway connecting the capital Kabul and the country's second largest city of Kandahar. Fighting and bombings have increased recently as the Taliban try to take control of more territories in advance of next year's presidential election. Joining us now from Kabul via Skype is the New York Times Afghanistan bureau chief Rod Norland. Thanks for being with us. Why is Ghazni so crucial?
Ghazni has always been a really important strategic point, kind of marks the border between the Tajik and Hazara north of Afghanistan and the capital, and the Pashtun lands in the south and the east. And taking Ghazni would basically cut off the Taliban heartland from the rest of the country and give them maybe a kind of quasi-state.
Just the other day, the Afghan government was saying that they had control of this city, but your reporting showed otherwise.
Well, they're still saying today they have control of it, but our reporter was walking around the streets and the only thing he saw were Taliban. The government does still hold the police station, the prison, a couple other places, an army base, and there is a big base right outside of town that is filling up with reinforcements. But so far, the government has not mounted any kind of concerted counterattack to chase the Taliban out. They say because they're worried about hurting civilians in the process.
And then there are also multiple forces in here. You've also been reporting recently about the Islamic State and what their role is. Are they prisoners in some cases? Are they honored guests in others?
Well, in the case of one large ISIS group in the north of Afghanistan, they surrendered to the government rather than be defeated by the Taliban. They were about to be overrun because they're enemies of the Taliban as well. And the government, rather than treat them as prisoners, treated them as guests, which caused quite a scandal. I think angered American leaders as well.
Because there are still citizens who have had to deal with the atrocities that the Islamic State inflicted upon them, right?
That's for sure. Yeah, and their leader said, if anyone has any charges against them, they should come forward. And by that morning, 50 people had come forward to complain about beheadings and random, arbitrary murders.
So let's talk a little bit about how this political landscape ends up shaping up before the upcoming elections. You have these different factions here. The Taliban is taking some military action, but they're also trying to win hearts and minds.
Yes, and a lot of people see the Ghazni offensive, and also, by the way, there are three other major offensives going on now by the Taliban that have killed about as many people as have been killed in Ghazni just in the last couple of days. But anyway, a lot of people see all that as the Taliban trying to gather credit and lay down a marker before any kind of peace talks start. There's a lot of hope here that in a couple of weeks, there'll be even less than a couple of weeks, for the Eid holiday, there'll be another ceasefire. There was one in June that was very successful, and people are hopeful that that will happen. And some analysts see these series of attacks in Ghazni especially as an attempt for the Taliban to strengthen their position before any talks.
All right, Afghanistan bureau chief for the New York Times, Rod Norland, joining us via Skype tonight. Thanks so much.
Sure thing.